How on earth does a single, pretty unremarkable city end up conquering pretty much the entire known world? It's one of the most incredible, most mind-blowing stories in all of human history. It's a tale of insane ambition, nonstop war, and pure strategic genius. And today, we're going to break down exactly how they pulled it off. So, you might think there was one big, decisive moment, right? But nope. The real answer is a slow, brutal, centuries-long grind. Rome basically transformed itself from just another regional player into the absolute master of the Mediterranean, one bloody war at a time. So, how did that journey actually happen? You're looking at a relentless 300-year march to total power. And this wasn't one big, long campaign, not at all. It was a series of very distinct phases of conquest. So, let's start where it all began, the fight to control their own home turf, Italy. You know, you can't build a skyscraper on a shaky foundation, right? Well, the Romans knew that. Before they could even dream of world domination, they first had to conquer their own backyard. That first absolutely crucial step was to dominate the Italian peninsula and build a solid base for everything to come. And let me tell you, this early phase was just unbelievably brutal. Rome fought these grueling, drawn-out wars against all its neighbors, like the Samnites and the Latins. That Pyrrhic War, for instance, was so incredibly costly that it literally gave us the term Pyrrhic victory. But here's the genius part. Every win wasn't just about grabbing land. It was about absorbing the people they defeated into the Roman system, which created this massive reservoir of manpower that would fuel their legions for centuries. Okay, so with Italy finally locked down, Rome isn't just a local power anymore. It's a giant. But as it looks out across the sea, it sees another giant staring right back, the incredible naval empire of Carthage. You just knew a collision was coming. The Mediterranean wasn't big enough for both of them. And this was a classic clash of styles, almost like a pay-per-view heavyweight fight. In one corner, you have Rome, the unstoppable land-based military machine built on the sheer discipline of its citizen legions. And in the other corner, you have Carthage, the established king of the seas, a trading empire with unbelievable wealth. The big question was, who was going to come out on top? This epic showdown became known as the Punic Wars. And we're not talking about a quick little conflict here. This was more than a century of titanic, back-and-forth struggle that pushed both sides to their absolute breaking point. This wasn't just another war. This was the war that would decide the entire future of the Western world. After a long, bloody, and incredibly costly fight, Rome came out on top. And the prize? Oh, it was immense. They got control of all of Carthage's huge territories, from Sicily to the rich silver mines of Spain, all the way to the coast of North Africa. This was the moment Rome went from being a major Italian power to an intercontinental superpower almost overnight. But you'd think they'd take a break, right? Celebrate a little? Nope. Rome was just getting started. After mastering the West, the Senate and its powerful legions turned their gaze eastward, toward the older, much wealthier, and culturally dazzling kingdoms of Greece and the Near East. A whole new chapter of conquest was about to kick off. Now, the conquest of the East was completely methodical. It wasn't just chaos. It all started with the Macedonian Wars, where Rome just systematically dismantled the powerful kingdoms that Alexander the Great had left behind. One by one, the proud Greek powers fell into Rome's orbit. And just like that, Rome became the undisputed master of the entire Mediterranean. So at this point, Rome controls most of the known world. This final phase was really all about consolidation. You could think of it as mopping up the last bits of resistance, securing the borders, and putting the final pieces of this giant imperial puzzle into place. In practice, this meant more brutal campaigns to lock down the frontiers. You had legions marching north to conquer the fierce tribes in Gaul, and others heading east to subdue groups like the Illyrians. Now, these wars might not sound as epic as the Punic Wars, but they were absolutely essential for cementing the borders of Rome's gigantic new empire. And all this constant warfare, brings us to 27 BC. The old Roman Republic, which was strained to its absolute breaking point by the demands of running a world empire, finally just gave way. It cracked under the pressure. And with the rise of the very first emperor, Augustus, a brand new era officially began, the age of the Roman Empire. So let's just boil this whole incredible journey down. Rome's rise was basically a methodical three-phase process. Phase 1, secure your home base in Italy. Phase 2, defeat your greatest rival, Carthage, to become the master of the West. And finally, Phase 3, turn east and conquer all the old wealthy kingdoms. 3 steps, hundreds of years, one massive empire.
And the result of all that? Well, an empire of just breathtaking scale. I mean, its borders stretched from modern-day Spain all the way to Turkey, from the dark forests of Germania down to the hot sands of Egypt. Rome truly, literally, conquered the world as they knew it.
But this leaves us with a final, fascinating, and kind of ironic question. You see, the Republic had built this massive empire, but it couldn't actually survive its own success. So what happens when a government that was designed to run a single city tries to rule the entire world? Well, for Rome, the answer was the death of the Republic itself.